Hey guys, what is going on? Robrigo here, and today I'm taking a look back at the COD Modern Warfare II beta, and specifically at the third person mode, what my initial impressions of it are, and if I think it'll be a success once the game launches at the end of October. So the first thing to note is that this isn't the first time we've been able to play in a third person mode in Call of Duty. We first saw this functionality in COD back in the original Modern Warfare II. We also saw it return in COD Modern Warfare III. The Modern Warfare 3 version was for private matches only, however, and so in actual multiplayer formats, this is only the second time we've seen the mode come through. My initial view is that it's been really great variation of the typical multiplayer. I grew up playing games like SOCOM, and more recently Rogue Company, and I love the third person elements in both of those titles. Things like being able to see your weapon move around your operator as you change to your secondary. The thing that made both SOCOM and Rogue Company great, however, was the consistent view. With the Modern Warfare 2 beta, aiming down the sight brings you back into the first person mode, and this is something that I'm admittedly not a big fan of. In the other titles that I've mentioned, like SOCOM, aiming down the sight would simply zoom in slightly. Being able to shift to the first person view takes away from that third person element in my opinion, and I'd much prefer that they revert to maintaining the third person view. Another feature that worked well in games like Rogue Company was the ability to roll forwards and side to side, in order to evade enemy fire and get to cover. I don't think this will be brought to Call of Duty, but having this third person mode does allow for more creativity in movement mechanics. This is something that's changed from the original Modern Warfare 2, which only shifted to a first person view when you were using certain weapons, for example a sniper. Another important aspect of the third person mode is the ability to shift the view from the left to the right shoulder, and this is something that's vital when camping a corner, depending on the side that you're on, so I do like that they've brought this functionality into the game. You'd hope that once the game launches in full, we'll see a wide variety of modes that you can play in third person. In the beta it was somewhat limited to a few modes like Hardpoint, and these aren't modes that I would typically play. Having more tactical modes, for example the new Prisoner Rescue, would be great to try in third person. Something I do think they need to take a look at for the full launch, however, is spacing. If you're in a small room, like for example in the kitchen area of the Breenberg Hotel map, then it's actually quite difficult to see what you're doing. And I found I was having to revert to aiming down the sight to compensate for this. Clearly the intention will be to stick with the functionality of reverting to first person when aiming down the sight, and although I'd like them to change this, assuming they don't, then the transition could also be a bit smoother. It can be a bit clunky at times to transition between that third and first person view. All in all though, I'd say it's a really fun game mode, and it's maybe a sign that we'll get more functionality, modes, and perhaps even more maps that we saw in the original Modern Warfare 2 game. It helps to add a different dimension to Call of Duty multiplayer, and for players who like the balance of third and first person, it's definitely going to cater for them, although as I've said, I prefer to just stick with that third person view only. Perhaps they'll release a setting that results in aiming down the sight staying in a third person view. This mode was likely played a lot as part of the beta, given that there wasn't much other functionality or other game modes, so I do think that measuring the amount of people that played it should be reserved for the full launch. And we may find that when we have more game modes in October, that not as many people will want to play this third person variant. But what do you think of this game mode, and did you give it a try during the beta? I think long term it will do quite well, and as I've said, there's lots of different modes that you can incorporate into it. But let us know in the comments below what you think of the mode, and if you'll think it'll be a success long term for the Call of Duty franchise. Just before you go, if you found this video interesting, or you're aware of our content in general, then make sure to click that subscribe button. We've got a growing community in our Discord where we talk all things Call of Duty, so come join us. Until then, take care guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.